Hello, welcome to the Young Filmmakers Project. I'm your host, Orion Ludlow. For the next half hour or so, we're going to check out some films made by video production students in Vancouver Public Schools. All of the high schools in Vancouver Public Schools and even some of the middle schools have video production programs where students learn the basics of filmmaking. In addition to learning the technology, they're also learning project management, teamwork, and writing skills. So today we're at Vancouver School of Arts and Academics. Now we gave Mr. Jeffers' class a prompt. Make a movie based on the simple phrase, the last one. What we got is stunning. It's dark, it's beautifully shot. Check it out. Well, that was really something. I am joined now by Zach, Nick, and Cole. These are the editors and photographers and the director and producer and writer of the movie. So let's talk to you first.
All right.
Zach, this was something else.
Thank you.
It was so thoughtful. It was very professional. So talk a little bit about it, please.
So we kind of went off the idea of finding something emotional, and I know personally just something that really stands out for me is just like the love between two people, and like how much one person would go to try and repair, and then just the idea of him losing her, finally driving him to killing himself. So
I thought that the beginning, I mean, it is like 2 episodes. I mean, the beginning is there's so much love, it's almost overwhelming. And I think, I mean, do you think that makes the power of the second half of the film? I mean, does that helps, right?
Yeah, definitely. We tried to present it where we had to make her, since you didn't know a whole lot about her, we had to make her a really lovable character at the beginning, so the audience kind of felt sad when she was gone, and kind of connected with the main actor in the sense that he had lost her. And so that seemed like a really reasonable way to just really show that they had so much going for them. And
you're doing it with no words, just music.
Yeah, I've worked with dialogue before, and it's not my favorite, so.
You didn't need it at all. I mean, the movie was so beautifully shot, so we should talk to Cole and Nick now, because so many angles to tell the story. I mean, without words, your camera shots are, really important. So talk about, how you where you got your shots and how you went and thought about that.
Initially, when we got out in the field, we didn't have a clear ideas of what shot we would get. But when we got to the location, we'd just be, all right, let's run it and let's try to find angles. Let's try to find all these different shots. We're a huge fan of foot shots. We always have the camera on the ground and them walking right by it with the feet. But we had to cut out a lot of it because when there's so many of them, they don't look nearly as good.
Now, did you have to devote a lot of days to shooting? I mean, it seems like, with the number of cuts that are in this movie, I'm sure there's a lot of editing time, but it seemed like there was probably a lot of shooting time too.
There was one day when we were out for probably 8 hours or 6 hours just shooting nonstop, and then probably 1 or 2 other days where we just did filler shots. But most of it was taken all within one day.
How do you go from having all that video to such a fine finished product?
It takes a lot of time. There's a lot of cuts that you just don't want to make because the shot is so beautiful and so nice, but you have to make it to make the movie clear, and it keeps the pace going. Because when there's too many shots, it's too long and this gets long.
Yeah, the pace seemed right. It seemed it wasn't too long, and it didn't go too quick either. Now, Nick, I hear that you were good at finding special places to shoot from.
Mostly I just like to climb things, so I just jumped on things and climbed fences, and from there I would see if there was anything that would look cool. I think we kind of wanted more abstract shots than just following this guy around the city, so I thought that getting perspectives of different areas might be cool.
It was. You guys had lots of extras in this movie too. Lots of dead bodies, kids, yep. Old people, people at the bottom of stairs. I mean, it kind of, and every time you'd see a body, it would be a little bit of a shock. And did you just have friends lay down for you?
The majority of the bodies are from the MIA class itself.
Okay.
And then we had a whole bunch of people who were supposed to show up on the shooting day, but none of our extras showed up, so all of us played dead bodies at one point in the film. I'm not sure if they all are still in the final cut, but I know we're all. I know at least Nick is shown dead once or twice. I think you're dead twice. but yeah.
Do what you have to do. Okay, thank you guys. Our next film was also made at VSAA. It's fascinating. It's different. It's a little bit meta. It's also answers that age-old question: what is art?
I think we can take pictures. When editing the project, if you go to QuickTime and screen record the whole thing.
This is the video of us debating whether we're going to make the video about documenting our process, which is a video.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Making sense? Yeah? All right.
Yeah, video would be too much to...
What did you like about that piece and why?
I really liked the music selection.
The sense of heaviness.
The quality of the filming, it felt really professional.
The shot where you were revolving around him and the background was all blurred.
But because you were rotating around him and he wasn't the one moving, he stayed clear while everything else around him was blurred.
The inspiration really came from a field trip that we went on down in Portland. Students really started to question what is art, is intent needed to make a piece of art, and that's what really sparked our idea of this film.
Our goal was to set out and create a piece that was aesthetically pleasing. We did this by messing with exposure, different aperture sizes, frame rate, motion blur, image stabilization, color correction schemes, things like that. We did this all to create a piece that was pleasing to the eye.
Also, as a side note, I did like the connection between BC's shirt and the color of the ball.
It wasn't my shirt.
And what about the piece did you dislike, and of course why?
There was certain parts of the ball bouncing, particularly a part where it was down the staircase, where it would bounce up and slow down, and then bounce up again fast and slow down. I thought that was a little bit redundant.
There's a lot of hesitation at the end.
I wasn't too favorable about the chair. I just didn't like the chair.
I didn't like how it ended, and I was wondering, like, well, why did you pick up the ball? What was the point? Like, what was the meaning behind that?
I didn't really understand what the intent of it was.
Our purpose was to provoke the question, what is art? Is a piece that is simply aesthetically pleasing, is that art? Or does there need to be something more behind it to make it art?
So a lot of us went into this project with some preconceptions about how this was going to turn out. I know I, for one, thought that a lot of people, especially artists, were going to read different intentions into this project when there was none.
I feel like it's kind of supposed to remind you of childhood almost.
It was a really like nostalgic, interesting piece, and it brought on a lot of feeling.
I felt generally at ease. I was contented.
I felt a little anxiety for the ball. I mean, he was going through some rough times. I just hoped he made it through it okay. So, and he did.
The response we got was actually very mixed. A lot of people found that they did find intents in it, like, for instance, coming of age, childhood, memories, all that kind of stuff, dream sequences. But a lot of people actually didn't find any sort of intent in this, and that was actually a frequent criticism that we got with our project.
What do you feel was the art piece's intent?
That question is not so easy.
What do you feel was the actual intent of that art piece?
I didn't figure that one out, actually.
That's a good question.
What is the intent of art? And does art have to have a purpose behind the creator, or can it be considered art simply because the audience feels that there's an intent behind it?
I feel that the intent was to invoke kind of a calming, more relaxed feel, but like I said before, to remind you of childhood.
I was thinking like kicking away your problems and then realizing that you can't just run away from your problems. You're just gonna have to face them eventually.
There are so many things that that piece could stand for, and that's really kind of comforting to know in a way, because you're like, I could be right, and if I'm not right, that's what I got out of it.
You know, I don't know what the intent was, but I do think audience interpretation is equally valid to artistic intent. True art schooler. For me, my interpretation had to do with seeing the ball as a metaphor for life and how we think about living our life.
I think the red ball was trying to symbolize something coming back to you, like you're letting it go and then it's coming back to you.
It makes people think, and I think that's why it's a successful piece of art in my mind.
It's about asking each individual audience member the question, what is art? That is our intent. Our intent is to instill that curiosity in people, to make them say, what is the intent? To make them look for the intent themselves.
What is art? Boy, that's a question we do deal with a lot. I think art, for me, is something where a person creates something with an intent to get a reaction from either someone or themselves.
Putting words and titles on the things that link us as a human being, you know?
Anything that provokes, which is probably like an intention of possibly this piece. I imagine this piece has got to have some sort of intent, you know, a reason to make it. You always have a reason to make something, even if it's just because I could.
Art, to me, has intent. Something can be, you know, beautiful, but there is an intent for me in the creation aspect that may or may not be entertaining or aesthetically pleasing.
In the end, any kind of art form, I feel like people should think. It shouldn't be straight out in the open. I mean, people always say, you know, a crumpled piece of paper, like, if I do this, is that art? Well, it could be for sure. You have the idea to crumple the piece of paper. Afterwards, people are going to be left thinking, why did you do that? What was the reason for that? Why did that happen? And maybe it's a 4-year-old boy who just wants to crumple a piece of paper because it sounds cool, or it's a legitimate artist who decides to crumple a piece of paper and put it in a gallery to have people reconsider what is art.
Great job, guys. So we're going to go from high school now to Geyser Middle School. I think the kids had a lot of fun making some of these movies.
I'm about to win. Come on, come on. Yeah! For the 4th time in a row. 1!
You can beat me at that game, but you're not going to beat me at this game.
Oh, it's on, bro. Okay, first thing, there's no cheating. I will smoke you.
It's on! I get first pick because I've been losing. I pick Devin.
Devin? Okay, well, I choose Bailey, level 52, 12th prestige. 1! Yeah! So, Tommy's ready to get owned. Yeah, keep it up. Come on, Bailey, you got this. Twinkle Toes over there's getting creamed.
Devin, what are you doing? Get your head in the game.
Don't let him shoot that. Don't let him shoot. I will delete your profile. Just don't know.
This is for the shot. This is for the win. So excited for this Jenga tournament.
Got this Jenga tournament back, dog.
I'm pretty good.
Right, someone like you can beat me.
Why do you have lines in your head?
Each one stands for a national Jenga tournament that I've won. This one's preparation for this year, because I already know I'm going to win. Come on, Hank, don't talk to the opponent. Yes, coach! See you later, loser.
Whatever. Hey, do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Go ahead.
You do realize that you have to sign a waiver before competing in the Jenga tournament. Why is that?
Well, when the tower falls, it really falls, but I'll sign it anyways. Nothing could hurt me.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thanks.
Starting off with Jimmy, who enjoys long walks on the beach and books about Europe. Next we go to Hank, who will do anything he can to annihilate you. Later we go to Ivan, who enjoys skinning pigs and making sausages with his dad. This is the NJA. This is where amazing happens.
see you in the next 2 rounds.
All right. And we've got semi-final action coming your way in between Ivan and Jimmy. Winner advances to the championship round.
You ready to get pwned?
Don't you mean pwned?
Whatever you like, you'll still lose.
Go for it.
You're out of blocks to pull.
You were saying?
Oh, you got lucky.
Yeah! And here we are at the championship round between underdog Jimmy and 3-time champion Hank for a battle royale and decision of the Jenga tournament winner.
Can you win under pressure?
Are you okay? I broke my wrist. Jimmy, you won! Yes! Yeah! Yeah!
Remember that you can see more student films on our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/VanSDTV. Scroll down to the Young Filmmakers Project link and you'll see all of our past episodes. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Orion Ludlow. See you next time.